Bergen, the second largest city in Norway, is located on the west coast of the country. The city centre is surrounded by mountains, giving rise to the nickname, the City of Seven Mountains. In this video, we will take a brief look at some of the most popular attractions, including the Fløyen funicular railway, the fish market, and the Old Town, or Bryggen as it is known locally. Whilst the cruise ships will offer a range of excursions in Bergen, it is equally easy and more cost effective to do your own thing. Your ship will most likely dock in one of two places, either in the berth here on the western side of town, or here south of the main areas. Both docks are within easy walking distance of all the main attractions. To get the best view of the city, we recommend using the Fløyen funicular railway, easily reachable by foot from the cruise terminals. In our experience, it is best to head here as early as possible to avoid the longer queues which form as the day goes on. Fløyen is a funicular railway which runs up the Fløyen mountain. It is one of Norway's most visited tourist attractions, with passenger numbers in excess of 1 million per year, and a must for any visitor to Bergen. The railway was officially opened on the 15th of January 1918. The cars and machinery were last totally renewed between September and November 2002. The line is only 850 metres long, but has a vertical rise of 300 metres and 5 stations, although not all of these are served by every departure. The trip takes approximately 7 minutes with stops at all stations, or a little over 3 minutes on the non-stop services. For the latest details of fares and timetables, please visit the Fløyen website at www.fløyen.com. The funicular is fully wheelchair accessible at the bottom and top stations only. For the more adventurous, you can buy a one-way ticket, which allows you to either use the funicular to go up or down the mountain and walk in the opposite direction. Our next recommendation is to visit the fish market. This can be found at the top end of the harbour next to the main tourist information office. Bergen's outdoor fish market has a long history, being the historical centre for the fish trade. Most tourists find their way here, but with locals changing their shopping habits, the fish market today does not compare to what it once was. The fish market is dominated by makeshift souvenir shops and seafood stalls. The seafood is generally of only okay quality, as the fishermen no longer deliver their catch directly to the market. However, you can still get a pretty good idea of what the locals eat by having a look at the various fish they sell here, and try some of the stranger ones if you feel adventurous. Free samples are usually available of the more common items, such as whale, salmon and salmon caviar. Although somewhat crowded, getting around with a wheelchair is fairly easy. Prices here are very high, and a lunch can easily cost you €80 per person. Many items such as caviar, canned herring, mackerel in tomato, cloudberry jam and other stuff can be purchased for a fraction of the prices in the nearby supermarkets. Please remember that if you do choose to purchase any foodstuffs, they will be confiscated from you when you rejoin your ship. Finally, we'll take a look at Bryggen, the old part of the town. This can be found on the north side of the bay. Between 1350 and 1750, this area used to be a Hanseatic trading and processing area. The wooden houses at Bryggen today were built after the devastating city fire of 1702, but are probably very similar to the buildings that were there before. Despite neglect and fires, a considerable number of buildings have survived and are now listed as a UNESCO World Heritage Site. If you enter some of the alleyways between the storefronts, you really get a feel for what Bergen must have been like in the Middle Ages. There are a few museums on the history of Bergen and of Bryggen, but the most interesting aspect is probably that almost all of the buildings are still in use. One example is the restaurant Bryggen Tract Ursted, serving food and drinks in a building first opened for this purpose in 1708. Wandering about on Bryggen is possible with a wheelchair, but getting in and out of buildings can be very difficult. We hope you've enjoyed the short guide on what Bergen can offer the cruise visitor. Please feel free to view our other guides.